Hello and welcome to today's session on negative numbers. It's the first session in a series of 5. To begin as usual, here's our maths meeting. 5 calculations to start with. We've got 1000 minus 450. For this you can mentally count on from 450 to 1000, or you could use column subtraction. Then we've got a subtraction with decimals. Be careful to line them up correctly. Remember, it is a subtraction. A column addition, again line them up carefully before adding. The next one is 2 times 4 times 3. To work this out, you will have to multiply 2 by 4, find the answer, and then multiply that answer by 3. And finally, 4,328 multiplied by 7. Column multiplication, 7 times 8, 7 times 20, 7 times 300, 7 times 4,000. Put it all back together and you'll have your answer. Okay, pause the screen now. And let's look at the answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give them a tick. If you're not sure where you've gone wrong, have another go at them. Okay, let's move on then. Let's count in negative numbers. But first of all, what is a negative number? Got a little video clip for us to have a look at.
Negative numbers apply to lots of things, but one of the more noticeable ones is temperature. Numbers don't just stop at 0. When you count backwards from 0, you go into negative numbers. And right now, the temperature is minus 15. Let's see if we can heat you guys up a bit. Using a thermometer to order negative numbers is an easy way to see that minus 15 is a lower number than minus 5 because it's further down the line. And because they are both below 0, they are negative numbers. Negative numbers also apply in buildings when you go below ground level. Minus 10, that's 10 floors below ground level. That was a lucky escape.
Okay, so that shows us what negative numbers are, and today we're going to be looking at number lines with negative numbers. The first one is supposed to be a thermometer. Looks a little bit more like a pen, but it's to show that 0 is right here, and you can count in positive numbers up to 10 or negative numbers down to minus 10. We're going to be using that scale to help us figure out some negative number problems and to do some negative number counting. So first of all, we're going to start at 3 and count on 4. We're going to find out what we get to. So let's start on 3. Here it is. We're going to count on 4. And if we're counting on 4, we're increasing by 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we land on the number 7. There we are, landing on the number 7. So what does this look like as a calculation? I think you'll probably get there with this. It is 3 plus 4 is 7. We started on 3, we counted on 4, we got to 7. Easy so far, right? Now this time we're going to start on a negative number. We're starting on minus 2. And this small sign here looks like a takeaway. But in this case, it's showing that it's a minus 2, and that's where we're starting. So let's draw around minus 2. That's where we're starting. And we're going to count on 8 and find out what number we land on. So let's count on 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can think of this as temperature if you like. The temperature started as minus 2. Got warmer, it warmed up by 8 degrees, increased by 8 degrees, got bigger by 8 degrees, and we found out that the temperature landed on 6 degrees. So if you think about it as temperature, it might help you. For others, quite happy just to look at a number line. Whichever way works for you is great. So what does this calculation look like? We started on minus 2, we counted on, which means we added, we got to the number 6. Minus 2 plus 8 equals 6. You'll see, again, it does look a little bit like a takeaway, but it's not. It's the minus sign. -2 plus 8 equals 6. Let's look at our next example. This time we're going to start at 5 and count back 8. We're going to find out what number we land on. Here's 5. Maybe it's 5 degrees outside. And we're going to count back 8 degrees. It gets 8 degrees colder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What number have we landed on? -3. What does this look like as a calculation? Have a moment, have a think. If you've got a pen and paper in front of you, write down what you think the calculation is for this. Remember, we started on 5 and we've counted backwards. The calculation is 5 minus 8, or 5 take away 8 equals -3. 5 take away 8 equals -3. Our next example, we're going to start at 10 and count back 12 to find out what number we land on. I'm going to pause a moment, have a look closely, see if you can start at the number 10, count back 12. Can you find out what number we're going to land on? Now you've found the answer, let's work it out together. We started on the number 10. We're going to count back 12. Well, I'm going to do a large jump of 10. I know that if we're on 10, take away 10, we're going to end up at 0. So I've already taken away 10, 11, 12. We've landed on -2. So what does that look like as a calculation? Again, pause a moment, pick up your pen and paper. What does it look like? 10, count back 12, we land on -2. It looks like this. 10 take away 12 equals -2. Fantastic, well done. I've got a different scale for this question. This scale's still got the 0 and going in the positive direction goes all the way up to 20, and in the negative direction goes all the way down to -20. So you can think of it as a thermometer on its side, or you might just be happy to think of it as positives and negatives. The more you work with negative numbers, and certainly by the end of the week, you'll be far more confident with this. Let's find our problem. It says start at 15 and count back 22. Okay, what number do you land on? So let's find 15 first of all. We're counting backwards 22. Now I could do 22 individual little jumps, but if I'm on 15, I know to get to 0 I'm going to count back 15. So I know I've already counted back 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. If I count back 15 and then another 7, I've counted back 22 all the way to -7. What does that look like as a calculation? 15 take away 22 equals -7. Start at -16, right down here, and count on 28. Have a go yourself, point out number -16, count on 28, where will you land? Have a think about counting on in larger groups, not just in ones all the way to 28, and find out what number you land on. Off you go. Okay, you should have your answer by now. Let's work it out together. If we start on -16, it's just there, and I want to count on, so I want to add on 28. Well, first of all, I can count on 16 in one big jump. Already counted on 16. And if I count on another 4, I know I've counted on 20. Now I need to count on another 8. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And I've landed on the number 12. You might have jumped in different ways. You might have jumped individually 28 times, and that's okay. That works perfectly fine. Or you might have decided to jump 16 and then worked out you need to jump another 12 to make it to 28. Doesn't matter how you jumped there, as long as you were jumping forwards and you've jumped on 28 times. The number we've landed on is the number 12. So what does that look like as a calculation? Take a moment to write it down, starting at minus 16, counting on 28 to get to 12. Let's look together. Minus 16 plus 28 equals 12. Okay, this time we're starting at minus 5 and we're counting on 15. So we need to find minus 5. We need to count on 15. Again, think about what chunks you can do that in. You don't have to go individually each time. If you do, it's absolutely fine. Take a moment to find out what number you land on. Then let's work it out together. We're on minus 5. I know to get to 0, I've counted on 5, but I need to count on 15. So I need to count on another 10. That takes me straight to the number 10. So I know I've counted on 5 and 10. 5 and 10 make 15. I've counted on 15. We've arrived at the number 10. What does this look like as a calculation? Take a moment to write it down. Let's look together. Minus 5 plus 15 equals 10. It's a count on, so we know it's an addition. Okay, one more. Start at 18, count back 25, counting back. What number do you land on? Take a few moments to work it out. Then let's look together. We're starting at the number 18. We want to count back 25. I know that if I count all the way to 0, that's counting back 18. I need to count back a little bit further though to get me to count back 25. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20. Oh, I needed to go 25. Sorry. 18. I've counted back 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I only needed to count back 25. Glad I spotted it before I revealed the answer and found out I was wrong. Okay, so we've landed on minus 7, and I hope you landed on minus 7 quicker than I did. So what does this calculation look like? It looks like 18 minus 25 equals minus 7. Well done if you got that right first time. Okay, this time I've given you a calculation. 14, take away 20. Remember 14, count back 20. Have a go. Let's have a look together. We start on 14 and we need to count back 20. Big hop to 0. I know I've counted back 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I definitely counted the right number this time. I've counted back to -6. So we've gone 14 and we've counted back 20. And we've arrived on -6. Well done if you got that correct. Okay, got some examples. These are ones you're going to do on your own in your book. Take a picture and send to me, or you can write them straight onto Class Dojo if that's easier for you. I don't mind which way you do it. So we've got 20 minus 6. That's 20, count back 6. And you can use the scale, count 20 and count back 6 to find the answer. Then you've got -15 plus 20. That's -15, count on 20. So you can start on -15 and you can count on 20. Then we've got -10, count on 12. -10 plus 12. Then we've got 16, take away 23. So you can start on 16 and count back 23. Then if we're on 8, we're going to take away 15. 8, count back 15. Pop the answer there. Okay, so take a photograph of your maths meeting and a photograph of your answers here, or you can write them straight onto Class Dojo for your 5 dojos. Good luck, and I'll be back tomorrow.